McCarthy, you start.
Sure. So I think it's pretty apparent as the Red Sox return today that baseball is experiencing a pretty significant resurgence in the United States. I talked about this in passing a little bit the other night. I guess, is it true that Beetle responded to this the other day, Jimmy? Is that right?
Yeah,
Beetle
he disagrees with you.
Okay, I didn't hear it, but unlike Beetle, I deal in facts and numbers. This is an agenda-free Friday.
Nerd!
No agenda behind this take, just facts and numbers. Let me give you some headlines. This year's All-Star Game was the most-watched All-Star Game in 7 years. Last year's World Series was the most-watched World Series in 7 years. Baseball experienced last year the highest attendance it had experienced in 7 years. Noticing a trend here? This season, according to my AI overlords at Google, baseball has had a 22% year-over-year increase on ESPN, most watched in 7 years, 16% on TBS, 10% on Fox, and even the stupid home run derby was up 5% this year. Let's compare that to what other sports are doing with their television ratings. The NBA Finals ratings were some of the worst in history. Game 7 pretty much doubled the rest of the finals, so it skews the numbers a little bit, but it's still the third least watched finals in the last 20 years. Your minor league football national championship game, Joe, down 15% this year. Stanley Cup final in the United States, down 40%. NFL ratings are flat. They're down 2%, but that's pretty much nothing. Simply put, baseball is the only major sport in America right now that is experiencing an increase in interest and viewership, because every other sport has either plateaued or is experiencing a significant decline. Yet, if you listen to us, apparently if you listen to Beetle yesterday, you listen to the station, baseball's still dying. We're still talking about this sport like it was 7 years ago. It's not 7 years ago, all right? The sport has made a significant increase, in a significant improvement by fixing the rules. The game has come a long way over the course of the last 7 years. And now it's up to the Red Sox to carry that through. Now it's up to the Red Sox to pick up on the momentum that I think baseball has built nationally, undeniably has built nationally based on the data and the numbers that we see. Baseball has started to regain some of its footing in this country, and now it's up to the Red Sox to do what they need to do to carry that forward locally, and that starts at the trading deadline by improving this team to capitalize on the momentum that the sport has.
Okay, there you go, Matt McCarthy. Joe Murray, what do you got?
Well, everyone's buzzing about the Red Sox. Of course, the resurgence, as Matt McCarthy just mentioned. You brought up the beef between Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft. But, you know, it's getting a little thrown under the rug what's happening with the Celtics. What exactly are they doing right now? They're moving on from 5 of their 9 rotation players, including Tatum, who will be out. They're still at the second apron, which makes no sense. They have to make a minor move for some flexibility. But the talk at the moment is they're still over $80 million. Like, ownership has to pay an actual tax. Like, that comes out of their money. By the way, the new ownership hasn't been approved yet by the league. So what exactly is going on? And then we find out yesterday Damian Lillard passed on the Celtics. They made an offer for mid-level exception offer. Instead, he got $141 million from Portland. He's going to collect $70 million next season from both the Bucks and the Blazers. Not a bad deal. But the point is that no one wants the Celtics right now because they have no money. And just to double down on one other thing here, I mentioned 5 out of 9. Al Horford's one of those guys, probably won't be retained. But the reports are it's the Warriors, Bucks, and Hawks. He hasn't really, it sounds like it's going to be the Warriors, but passing on the Celtics for money? Who wants to go to Milwaukee or Atlanta in the NBA? So the Celtics, I know, are in transition right now, but players are avoiding them. And it is about the money this time. It's a sad state for a team with championship aspirations that have been literally in the conversation for the last 10 years. So I don't know what the Celtics are doing, but it's a sad state right now.
All right, so Joe on the Celtics. And
By the way, there's a story there with Horford. The Warriors expected him to sign with them last week, and he didn't. So I wonder if Horford's looking for more money too.
So you think it was a money thing that he didn't get cold feet about Golden State?
Correct.
Okay.
Remember, Horford left the Celtics the first time for the money.
Mm-hmm. Got paid, too.
So I want to open with a story that has been getting a lot of attention in other places, less so here, concerning the dispute in the NFL about collusion on the part of the owners. Have you guys followed this story at all?
Yep.
A little bit.
Okay, now collusion is a major no-no in collective bargaining. Okay, major no-no. And in this particular collusion case that was filed by the Players Association, the union, against the owners, the arbiter ruled in favor of the NFL, okay, that there was no collusion proven. But that doesn't mean it didn't exist. There was a 61-page document that became public earlier this week that was released by Pablo Torre. You remember Pablo Torre? Investigative reporter at ESPN, who was the guy who did some of the digging on the Belichick, Jordan Hudson apartment and all that sort of stuff.
The man who did God's work.
Okay, so this 61-page document, and by the way, the name of the document, I'm just giving you the legal title, is National Football League Players Association versus National Football League et al. But it went before system arbitrator Christopher F. Droney concerning collusion in the NFL. And there was a section called Kraft/Smith discussion. Have any of you guys read this, Joe? You're nodding. Have you read it?
Yep.
Okay, so I want to read you part of this complaint by the union, and you tell me whether or not it's credible. Jimmy Stewart, you got your highlighter up?
I got my highlighter. You need one? I got extras.
No, you'll see right here. I've already got it highlighted, Jimmy. You'll see nice pink highlights right on this page. I blacked out a couple of areas just so I don't read them. It's a few paragraphs, so bear with me, but it's worth listening to. So, again, and this was written by Christopher F. Droney, who was the system arbitrator. He says, as explained, the NFLPA alleged in October 2022, commencing this arbitration, that a high-ranking NFL executive asked an owner to encourage other owners at a meeting that month to not agree to large, fully guaranteed contracts like the one that was given to Deshaun Watson. Okay, that's the first paragraph of this section. I'm going to read it again just so you understand it. The NFLPA alleged that a high-ranking NFL executive asked an owner to encourage other owners at a meeting that month to not agree to large, fully guaranteed contracts like the one given to Deshaun Watson. Now, if you were a high-ranking official in the NFL and you had to find an owner who didn't guarantee a lot of money in his contracts, who would you pick?
Robert Kraft.
Joe, who would you pick?
It'd be Mr. Kraft.
Okay, I would pick one of two people. I would pick either Robert Kraft and the Patriots or Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, because those two teams have spent the least money in cash probably in the league. I know the Patriots were 31st out of 32nd, as Bill Belichick recently pointed out, but Dallas is also down near the bottom. Jerry Jones, as we've said in this program many times, sneaky cheap. The head of the union at that time was DeMaurice Smith. I resume reading from the document.
And I wouldn't be shocked if it's Dallas.
Now, this is, again, it's a legal document that Pablo Torre uncovered and offered up on his website yesterday. I printed it out and I got to this section. I said, this is news. Smith testified that New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft raised the subject of Watson's guaranteed contract during a conversation with Smith, likely over the phone, at some point in the summer of 2022. Smith stated that, quote, I just remember Kraft saying, Roger has asked me to talk about guaranteed contracts at an owners meeting, end quote. Smith later also testified that Mr. Kraft told him that he was asked to raise that guaranteed contracts, quote, were a problem, unquote. Smith testified that he did not say anything in response. He also testified that he did not tell anyone about this conversation. Let me just stop there for a second. Do you think Smith is lying?
No.
No. That he threw Goodell right under the bus, by the way.
Okay, let's stop there and let me continue reading. Mr. Goodell testified that he did not remember having any discussions with Mr. Kraft about guaranteed compensation, and he denied that he asked Mr. Kraft or any other owner, quote, to discuss the issue with anyone else, end quote. Okay, so Again, Goodell denied or said he didn't remember the conversation. Doesn't mean it didn't exist.
Right. No, he misremembered it.
Correct.
like Andy
Correct.
Pettit.
Which is the classic legal speak. I don't remember. How do you disprove that? You can't.
Right.
And it doesn't appear as though the union has any sort of documents that validate these conversations. In other words, the conversation was not recorded. It was an email, so there's no way to prove it.
It's hearsay.
Mr. Kraft denied at the evidentiary hearing that Mr. Goodell asked him to initiate a discussion with owners about not agreeing to large guaranteed contracts, or that he discussed it with Mr. Smith. So Kraft denied both, but again, there's no proof. So how could Kraft be proven wrong?
Right.
Okay,
It's
I'm just making
phone
this.
conversations. These conversations aren't recorded. There's no trail.
After Mr. Smith texted Mr. Kraft months later, their first contact in many months, and that was in April of 2023, Kraft responded, "I always felt we had a special relationship. Disappointed to hear false claim attributed to you about me relating to guaranteed contracts." End quote. Which I think is an alibi.
Yep.
Okay? In weighing the testimony, and this is the conclusion again by the arbitrator, in weighing the testimony at the evidentiary hearing, I find that Mr. Goodell did not ask Mr. Kraft to talk about guaranteed contracts with other owners in August 2022 or at any time. I believe that he did. If I were the NFL and I wanted someone to appeal to the other owners about not giving guaranteed contracts like the one that Deshaun Watson got, and that sort of discussion would define collusion, Robert Kraft is one of the people I would go to. And again, Jerry Jones is the other. So there's no proof that Robert Kraft did that. There's no proof that Roger Goodell asked Kraft to do that. And there's no proof that the conversation between Kraft and DeMaurice Smith existed. But I believe the Patriots are smack dab in the middle of this thing in some way, shape, or form, because we all know that when it comes to guaranteed money, nobody puts in the Patriot guarantee like the Patriots.
Let's just use Occam's razor here, Maz. Does it benefit the Patriots and the NFL to collude against guaranteed contracts?
Yes, of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So, and here's my ultimate conclusion. When Robert Kraft and the Krafts tell you that they are loyal to the fan base, that they sat in those seats and that they were one of you, and you see something like this come out in a legal document, that certainly leads you to speculate, if nothing else. Do you believe that he's more loyal to you as a fan, or do you believe that he's more loyal to the league, the owners, and the commissioner? Because it's got to be, in a case like this, it's got to be one or the other. So anyway, 617-779-0985, just food for thought. I don't know how many of you care about collusion in pro sports, but it really rips out what is the essence of the business agreement between players and owners, that players believe that owners should bid against one another for their services. And if they all cut down in their spending and refuse to go to an area where they compete with one another financially, well, that defeats the whole purpose for the players. And it's frankly, it's salary control is what it is.